Shalom.
Shalom, family.
Um, we want to talk a little bit about these last days and what's going on, and we have titled this one, Noah was looking real crazy to everybody until the flood came.
Mhm. Well, before we get started with that, though, we just wanted to let you all know that, as you see, we are not at home. We are we are at home, but we're not at home. We're broadcasting from our trailer on the land because we wanted to see would the connection be good enough, all that good stuff. And right now it's looking kind of fuzzy, but we're going to see how far along we can get with this to see if it would be feasible for us to broadcast from this location on Shabbat, or if we would have to travel back to our other house. So that's what we're doing too.
Yeah.
So before we got it started, we just wanted to let you all know that. Shalom, family.
Shalom, everybody. Shalom. It's good to see so many people coming in and chat here.
Mm-hmm. Well, just let us know on your end how everything is looking. But anyway, we want to talk about Noah. He was looking real crazy to a lot of people.
Yeah.
They was laughing, gawking, scorning, and saying all kinds of things, I can imagine, because here you have this man building this big old giant ark.
Yeah.
And all these people looking around, he's letting them know. It's kind of like he was, hey, yo, storm coming. It's a storm coming, y'all. Get ready, get ready, get ready. There's a storm coming. And they were like, look at this crazy old man.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I bet they thought he was crazy. And the scripture says, so shall it be in the last days, just like it was in the time of Noah. So a lot of people are going to be doing things, and they're going to look at you like you're crazy when you begin to prepare for what's coming. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. You see, but when stuff starts to happen, then everybody's going to see why it was important what Noah was doing. You see.
Yeah, like in today's time, believe it or not, we've had people say some very strange things to us. And one of those things was, what is the point in buying land? The government can take it anyway. And another person said, how do you know your seeds are even heirloom? How do you know this? So what do you suggest we do then? Do we not buy land because someone could take it from us? Do we not attempt to buy good seeds because they might not be what so what do we do? All of these things are preparation things. So for those of you who say that, what's the point in all of this? What's the point in all of that? What do you suggest? Because we know the flood is coming. We know the storm is coming, as it was in the days of Noah. You're going to always have people who are going to say these things in opposition to what you are doing.
That's right.
And I'm always just left wondering, what do you suggest that we do? Since things today are going to be like they were in the days of Noah, are you going to be one that's helping to build the ark so that you can board it? Or are you going to be one of those gawking and saying, what are you doing all that for? You see?
Yeah, exactly. We just got to keep in mind that, of course, we know that the Most High is going to make a way for a lot of us during those times when things go crazy. But at the same time, do that mean that if you know that do that mean don't put up any water? You know what I mean? That mean, well, I know the Most High going to get me through it, so I know the drought is coming. He's going to help get me through it, so I can just drink all the water I want right now and worry about that later. When actually we should prepare. If we know what's coming, we should try to do the best we can to prepare and make ourselves ready, and that's, just prepare, any kind of way that you can prepare, do so. If it just means, one thing I noticed, I was talking with a brother today, and his brother says, he said, he remember when Katrina hit, and not Katrina, the one after Katrina, which was Hurricane Rita. And he was in an area where they evacuated people, right? Mm-hmm. And he said he had money. He said, but when he went to the store to buy something, there was nothing there to buy.
Nothing to buy, yes.
Wow. You hear that? Got the money, but there's nothing to buy.
Mm-hmm.
See, what good is your money if ain't nothing there for you to buy?
Exactly.
So then, while you got the money, you should really try your best to get the things that you need to get while you have the money. If that means stocking up on some water, just to get you through a hard time, do that. Stock up on some water. If that means getting yourself a water catcher, average person live in some type of home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know how much water run off the roof of that home, when it rains?
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a way of catching that water and storing that water can be valuable one day, extremely valuable.
Absolutely. And I think about how we as a people are always the ones that are last to do anything in terms of preparation. We have a lot of excuses, and the whole idea of waiting on the Most High. I understand having faith and waiting on the Most High, but the Most High, He expects us to use our brain. You see,
that's right.
A lot of people like to use certain scriptures to get out of doing things. Yah will make a way and all this other stuff. But think about this for a moment. The disaster that just hit Haiti,
mm-hmm.
They said that the damage by this hurricane is actually worse than what the earthquake did.
That's right.
And the death toll is pretty high and rising. Now, those are our people down there, you see.
That's Judah.
So all of these people who like to sit back and say, Yah will make a way, while you sit back on your keister and do nothing. And you sit back and you make and all of this other stuff. Think about the time of Pharaoh when he had the dream and Joseph gave him the interpretation of his dream. Joseph told him, hey man, in the time of plenty, store up so that during the time of drought, we got plenty. You see? And so all of this stuff about Yah will make a way, that to me is just a lazy man's way out. That's a lazy woman's way out. That's your way of saying, look, I don't want to do nothing. I don't see that stuff happening right now.
Yeah.
I don't see no flood coming. I don't see no rain, no storm. So therefore, I'm going to sit back. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to question why you're saving seeds or why you're buying seeds. Are your seeds heirloom?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know they are? Why are you buying land? What are you raising chickens for? If people only could see the future, they wouldn't say such nonsense.
Yeah, it's something to say Yah will make a way. And then things start to happen all crazy and everything. And you talk to Yah and he says, well, I made the way for you to buy some or all this happened and you refuse to do it, saying that I was going to make a way, but I made the way. You just didn't go the route that I made. You thought it wasn't my way.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think we just, I know because I remember reading about Revelations and things happening in Revelations 5 years ago, 30 years ago. I remember me and a friend of mine were looking in the book of Revelation. We were young. I was actually before then, it's more than 30 years ago. It's probably more like 35 years ago. Mm-hmm. We were teenagers. And I told the guy, we were like, man, I don't think 5 years, but we were saying it because just looking at the things in Revelations, we didn't have nothing out here in the world to look at.
Right.
And so now looking out in the world, there wasn't no waters turning red 35, 40 years ago, If it wasn't that many, wasn't enough to make it national news, CNN and other newses, It wasn't enough to make these places, but it's like now we're hearing of mass animal deaths all over the world. Just crazy things that have happened over the last 10 years that have been greater than anything we've ever seen. All these volcanoes, there's never been a time on the face of the earth where this many volcanoes have erupted. We're talking about anywhere, probably over 100 volcanoes have erupted over the past 2 to 3 years, no doubt, and that's crazy. That tells me that something is going on and we need to pay attention to what's going on. Just like somebody put here in the chat, they said the Euphrates River drying up, exactly, which just happened over the past 3 years. The Euphrates River drying up. You go back 5 years ago, there's an image they show actually on Google Images. If you type up Euphrates River before and after, you'll see how it dried up in the last 5 years, just completely almost dried up. And so that being said, it's different than the way it was 25, 30, 35 years ago. There wasn't anything really going on. All you heard was wars and rumors of wars. Now all the intricate stuff that was written in Revelations is coming to pass.
Yes, we're starting to see an increase in that.
That's right.
When we come to you, we talk to you about these things, family. It's for you to take heed. Okay, there's blood running warm in your vein, and while there's ease and comfort,
right.
You know, not everyone is living in ease and comfort right now. But when I say ease and comfort, it's no big deal for any of us to go to Walmart and buy containers of water. You know, you can go buy a carton of eggs right now if you want to at a reasonable price. Although reasonable today is quite expensive to what it was a few years ago. But we're not talking about a carton of eggs costing you $10, $20, right? It hasn't gotten to that point. And so things right now are easy. So a lot of people just can't fathom in their minds that they have to prepare for anything. And one of the mindsets that our people have got to get rid of is I'll put it to you this way. We have these issues with each other, right?
Yeah.
These issues make it difficult for others to want to even deal with you. Because of the time we're living in, I think we should all just humble ourselves, right? You don't want to be in a position to where someone tolerate being around you. So if things were rough, that people would not even want to deal with you because your attitude is like a swing shift. I mean, you're up today, down tomorrow. And it's okay to be up and down in terms of, okay, you might not feel the best today, but some of us wear our attitudes on our sleeve to where you make other people suffer with it. And some people just say, you know, I don't want to deal with that. So there's more to this thing than just, oh, let's come together, right?
Right.
If you are the kind of person that's not agreeable, you're disagreeable, you're smiling one day, you're frowning the next day, you're speaking to somebody one day, you're not speaking to them the next day, you're haughty and high-minded one day, and another day you have a conversation, people say, you know what? This is why I don't want to deal with our people. You know, more and more, it seems like everybody in the world don't want to deal with Black people. You got white folk, Asians, Latinos, Arabs, and even Black folk. Nobody wants to deal with us because we don't know how to keep our emotions in check for times such as these.
You know, it's kind of funny that you can go to all these different nationalities and they all get along. You know, so many of them get along with each other. You know, they're doing communities and they're coming together with ventures, business ventures that they're doing, and they come together doing this, doing that, all kinds of things, right? And both Black men, he can't come together with nothing, huh?
You know what came to
lucky
mind?
If he can get two people together on something.
Came to mind when you said this, the Amish.
Yeah.
Now the Amish communities, when these people come together, they do it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Not only do they acquire land and they live off grid, they are pretty much off grid people. Okay. Yeah. But they also come together in business. Yeah. I remember we bought these cedar chests almost 15 years ago, maybe more than 15 years ago. But these cedar chests, we paid X amount of dollars for them. They were selling cedar chests. They sell their jarred foods. They sell vegetables. They sell sewn objects. They sell handcrafted objects. They build structures. They do all kinds of things. And it's not just one fella or one family. It's a group of them working together to the point where they even sell Amish chicken up in Michigan. I don't know if they sell it in some of your areas, but they even sell Amish chicken. They have their own people. When people think Amish, they think wholesome. Yeah, you see. But what's wrong with us? What is wrong with us? Something as simple as coming together to say, hey, let's help each other. Let's take care of each other. Let's love each other. Let's look out for each other. Yeah. You got people looking at you from across the way, people looking over, whispering behind your back and talking and doing all of this. We can't function like that, family. Why don't we take notes from these other nations? These other nations are saying, look, we ain't got time for that. Our kids are hungry. Our kids need a place to lay their head. We need money circulating by making these objects that we can sell to those other people, you know. They sell to the other people. Yeah. And this is how they keep their communities thriving.
Yeah.
So we as a people, we got to get ourselves together. You see, we've got to get ourselves together. I'm thankful. We're sitting right now inside our trailer. And one of the families that we have right here, right now, they are such a hardworking family. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking over there working and handling their business right now. We're looking at them. The families, everyone works together. And I thank the Most High that this particular family decided to join us because
Yeah.
they are definitely hard workers. They're training their children just like we train our children. Our children are trained and taught that hard work is the only thing you have. You have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your family. And to see another family that's just like that, we are really thoroughly pleased and we thank
Yeah.
the Most High for it. Just looking at everyone working together, that's what it's all about, family.
Yeah, and they
That's what
hard
it's all
workers
about.
too. Very hard workers. The young boys are working like men. I'm talking about little boy, young boys that are our older boys.
They young.
10, 11, and 12 working
No,
like
one of them is 6.
6 years old. These young boys, 6, 8, and 10 or 12 or something. And
We don't know their ages.
we don't know their ages, but these boys working like men, lifting 80-pound bags of concrete up and carrying them. Like I'm sitting there looking like what in the world?
It was the 8-year-old. Their 8-year-old was lifting the 80-pound bag, and like my husband said, he was telling the dad, I don't think he knows that he's a little fella.
Yeah, I mean,
because he just lifted it and he's handling his business.
Yeah, like I can kid it. He wouldn't complain. Oh, it's too heavy. It's too heavy. Like most kids do, he picking that bag up and going. So
yeah,
I thank the Most High for this family. That the Most High allowed to be a part of what we're doing. But I tell you, it's amazing.
Thing.
It sure is. It's a beautiful thing. We want to really make sure that this camera and everything was going to record good enough so that we could do our broadcast from here on Shabbat, because we're trying to figure out how we're going to do this. We don't want to have to keep going back and forth every Shabbat to record and to come live before you all. So
sometimes we may, because we still have to take care of the other place until we can make other arrangements. But we just wanted to see if this would be an option for us in the event that we couldn't broadcast from here. But the first time testing it, and so far so good. It looks a little fuzzy, but hey,
I think it might not be fuzzy. Maybe because of this here.
How it's viewing for
refresh
us.
It. See how well this looks for us. But are you all hearing us good? Is it looking good to you all?
Well, I didn't see anything in the chat. Anything was looking bad, so. So we thank you, family, for joining us. We didn't want to be before you long.
Yeah.
We just wanted to test things out, and in the process, we wanted to talk about something that we had already been discussing. And I'm glad to see on this afternoon, it was 183 people to join us on this, unplanned broadcast. We just wanted to test things out, but also encourage you, family, to start working on yourself in terms of your attitudes and your ways and stuff like that, because you don't want to be in a position where no one wants to work with you or deal with you because of your attitude, because in this day and time, we need to know that we can depend on each other, and to expect people to put up with things such as that, you don't have to, because you don't want the peace and shalom of a project to be in us. People like to bring spirits and ways with them. No one has to deal with that, you see. And so we want to keep in mind that as the days wind up and things start to happen, that we all need to put ourselves in check, because we're going to need each other, whether you want to believe that or accept it or not. We're going to need each other. So if you're one of those people that's disagreeable and you always falling out with people, and you got these funny, strange ways, you always copping attitudes, you're always sitting around looking mean and frowning and stuff, let a man or a woman examine themselves.
Yeah, examine yourself.
Examine yourself, because nobody wants to deal with that, and nobody has to.
That's right.
So.
That's right. Well,
we love you, family.
We love you.
Before we head out, we're going to rest up a bit. And then we're going to head back home. And we may join you again this evening for a live broadcast. We're not sure at this point. Depends on what we have going on. But we just wanted to do this test. And I'm so grateful to see that we are live streaming, because one day we came here and we were hardly getting a good signal for the just to be online, period. So
it seems to be working good now.
It's working good today. So Toda Abaya for that.
Well, to Yah be the glory.
To Yah be the glory, and shalom, family.
Shalom.
Until next time.